Alright, what is up my G's? Welcome to What Does Recording a Podcast Look Like? But what does it look like? Well, let us tell you. Now, this is Kallen.
Hello.
The owner of what business?
Personal Performance Productions, the sponsor for Turning the Blade. They got us the laptop.
They got us the laptop. Now, we have actually just finished recording this podcast about 20 minutes ago.
Episode 1.
Episode 1. We finished recording it 20 minutes ago. Now, editing's gonna happen. But what does recording a podcast look like? Well, without all of the funny parts of it, it boils down to a few things. Now, first off, it's probably going to boil down to where does the cameras go? Now, obviously, I didn't just move these chairs here. I showed them to you in my video the other day. They're already here. So, from where this camera is now, you are looking at where our camera normally is for recording the podcast on the YouTube side. Second off, it's going to be microphones. Right? Kallen took most of the microphones into account. They're provided by
Sugma TV.
By Sugma.com. It's shameless plug. And also, Kraken 619. He provided us with the microphones, while Kallen has taken the initiative to record with the audio and record the quality of the audio and edit the audio. Do you want to tell them a little bit of what setting up the microphones was like for us?
Hell on earth. I'm kidding.
It kind of was.
It was.
We had to sit down and we had to, at first, we sat down trying to use Audacity. Fuck you, Audacity. You do not work.
No. It works fine if you aren't looking to record multiple microphones
Fair
or
enough.
if you have a mixer.
But for
that
our
works.
situation,
It's Gemini that got us.
Yeah, Gemini,
that we got
that's
mixer
the-
from.
yeah.
Gemini, fuck you.
why do you have to be Bluetooth? That's
Why do you have to be Bluetooth and only show audio?
only use the mixer as audio. That's so stupid in my opinion.
Like it can't be a problem on like just the one manufacturer. We use two different laptops from
And
two different
neither
brands.
of them accepted Gemini.
None.
Audacity, in our situation,
Not
were
yeah.
to record two different microphones, I would have enjoyed Audacity a little more. But Audacity didn't work, so we were forced to find a solution to that, which came in the form of a free software.
Yep.
Little disclaimer, or revision to that. The software that we're using is not free. It's free for the first time, but after that you pay a lifetime fee. So, still like it, it's just not free.
Let me actually look at what that software was.
I forget the name of it right now, but the fact that the free software worked much better than my very expensive mixer is very upsetting. So Gemini, please
better.
fix your mixers so that they don't do this.
It was Mixpad by NCH Software.
Now, thank you, Mixpad.
Thank
because
you,
saved
NCH
us
Software.
and provided us with the means to record two different microphones, which we needed for this podcast. This is a very long table, and it's not easy to just have a microphone in the middle. The audio sounds like garbage, especially in this attic where everything is very, very echoey, and the floorboards are very creaky. Even just putting your weight down, you can hear that.
Footed, so
Yeah.
sucks to suck.
Fair enough. But from the audio, it worked out. So, what did we use for cameras? We
iPhone 15, baby.
We used 2 iPhones and 2 tripods to record.
We're basically TikTokers.
Boiled down to it, we are long-form content TikTokers. Do not call me a TikToker or I will find you. I know where you live.
Let me boil it down to you in a simple term. Do you want to die a man, or do you want to die a mouse?
So, camera-wise, it was easy enough. We had to get iPhones and whatnot and set them up to where we have the ability to capture 3 people on this side and 1 person on the other side. While that does work, it's not as high quality as it could be. Donate to our Patreon. Shameless plug, shameless plug, shameless plug. Turning the Blade, where you can gain access to our behind the scenes, to our uncut episodes, and to a few different things.
Oh, the mini-series.
The mini-series. We will be doing Halloween mini-series.
Possibly a Christmas. Maybe a Thanksgiving even.
Possibly a Thanksgiving.
A New Year's.
Perhaps. Look forward to that though, because it will be enjoyable. I promise you that. From cameras on, what did we have to figure out? In my list, in my other video, I included a place to, please do check it out. I put an hour worth of work into that. Kidding, not really. It didn't take a ton of time, but it took a lot of effort. But in my other video, I mentioned the place to record. I had that kind of figured out already. I had an upstairs in my home that we weren't using for anything else, and plenty of space to record a podcast. And now it's kind of turning into a recording room for me. My gaming stuff will not be up here, so on and so forth, to each their own.
These Let's Talks will. I'm only here for this one, unless I get invited further on.
He might be here for another, who knows. But
we also do after show talks on the Patreon.
We do, yes. It's about a 30-minute wrap-up where we talk about what happened, what we
answer listener questions.
Of course, if you leave some listener questions, we do answer them, and we'll answer them to the best of our ability. But from a place on, the other equipment that you needed people. Getting multiple people to do this is tough because you need schedules to align, you need times to align, and since we are technically minors,
except
you
for
need
me,
curfews to align, and that is tough.
Very tough.
You also have to have enough energy to sit down to record a hour 30 minutes of a podcast where you are playing D&D. And it doesn't take a ton of energy. You just need to be with some good friends, having fun. But, it's a lot of work.
A lot.
And what you guys are seeing is nearly 2 months of work put into sitting down.
Yeah, because we started this, July 4th was our first meeting.
Yes.
It is now September 3rd. Nearly 2 months on the dot.
Yeah. After just about 2 months of work, we have now recorded our first episode, and we are
getting the audio, video edited. We're going to post it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast, as well as YouTube on Sugma TV.
Yeah.
So be sure to check it out. Be nice. We aren't taking this seriously, and we would rather not have to call a therapist and be like, hey, people are bullying me online for my podcast.
I won't call a therapist. I will just bottle it up until I have an explosion on the podcast.
Or that's going to happen. We're either going to have Hanklin Frankelfoot do a whole message, or we're going to just...
Or we're just going to sit down and have a talk with you guys like disappointed parents.
Yeah. Hey.
We don't want to do that.
Let's talk about being nice on the internet. That's the next episode.
Yeah. I will say these videos that I'm doing now, these Let's Talk videos, they are coming to me, the ideas are coming to me to do more of these because I do like these videos. I like being able to tell you what this is like, to share the experience, to share, who knows, maybe my next one will be senior year. Maybe not. We'll see. But
let's talk business.
Yeah.
Pay me money and I will do something.
Give me money. Please.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Patreon, Turning the Blade. Money. We need an air conditioner up here. It is very hot.
It is.
Buysugma.com.
I'm sure it's hot for you guys.
Currently. It's so hot, dude.
I'm used to it.
We were up here for an hour and a half in 102-degree weather, and this does not have AC. And we are underneath a black shingled roof that is absorbing all the heat and putting it right here.
Dutch oven, if you will. No, not a Dutch
Maybe not a Dutch oven.
French
I can make it a Dutch oven, but that's not very fun.
No, it's
for you, anyways. But also a part of a D&D podcast, you're probably gonna want some dice. Now, I don't know. I know where you got these because these are from Crystal Maggie. Very well-made dice. These are the liquid core, and I very much enjoy these. They're very nice. They're very appealing. They're very easy on the eyes, you could say. There's also these. I actually don't know where these are from. I got these as a gift, but they are beautiful.
Was it this one? Yeah. I'm trying to remember where I got this one from. I think you got me this one.
I might have.
Yeah. Well, fuck you, because this rolled 3 nat ones.
3 nat ones. Patreon, give us a dice jail.
Yeah.
They need to be punished.
It's also on me because I forgot that halflings get to re-roll nat ones.
Yeah, but it's still 3 nat ones from the same dice.
Yeah, that's a wild. I don't think I got a single nat 1 from these two.
That was in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
dropped down to half hit points because of it.
So this video is also part of our wrap up, I suppose. It won't be on the Patreon. This will be on my channel. You won't get any of the story, obviously, because go check out the podcast if you want to know the story. If you want to see us sitting down to record, if you want to see the behind the scenes of us setting a few things up, go to the Patreon.
If you want to see a couple of guys being dumb fucks on camera. Oh, I can't say that, can I?
You can.
Okay. You don't worry about monetization? Yeah. These dice are from Easy Roller Dice. Thank you, Easy Roller Dice. I spent the money, but, they're great dice. Is it underneath the chair? Oh,
I don't know. There's a notebook under there.
There is?
Yeah, apparently. Editor Grady, take this out.
No, leave it in.
I mean, I could. A little blooper at the end.
Yeah. Oh, found it. It rolled a 2.
Not great, but it's not a nat 1. It's a 9 and a 12.
Oh, and it's me too.
Some behind the scenes in the Grady Vandywater video.
It's a little sketchy.
Now you are looking at our characters. This is
inverse them, obviously.
Right. This is me. I mean, you don't have a face yet.
Yeah, hold on. We
do have some other characters though that we keep on hand for this. That is Hanklin Franklefoot.
Hello, my name is Hanklin Franklefoot.
And this is Gunther. Hello, I'm Gunther.
Yeah, we're professional voice actors, y'all.
No. Hire me, Sony. I'm in the game.
Disney, hire me.
Get me on right now. I will start at $10.
Part of you.
We got a little off track there.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's gonna stay in the video because it's funny.
It's funny.
You think I do YouTube for the money? I do it to be fun. I like having fun.
Yeah, that's exactly what this podcast is too.
We aren't expecting to make money off of it. We only do the podcast, or the Patreon, excuse me. We do the Patreon to
Fund this.
to put it back into the podcast, to make our conditions a little more comfortable.
Later on, we might take a small amount just so like we have an ability to live.
Yes, we all work not great jobs.
I mean, I work
I mean,
fine.
you work an okay job, but it's still customer service. Nobody wants to be in customer service, especially in the town that we live in. Everybody's bitter about waking up, I suppose. I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe this will bring a bit of joy into the.
Unlikely.
Be like, these guys are my customer service workers.
This is the guy letting me into the pool.
This is the guy who makes my sandwiches.
But, you know, to put the money back into the Patreon would mean maybe better quality cameras, maybe better quality microphones.
AC finally.
AC. Please. This is so hot. You can probably see the sweat glistening from my forehead.
I don't sweat.
I sweat
I
like a
evaporate.
pig. This guy evaporates.
could you edit that in the evaporator?
I can try.
That'd be-
I'm editing on that.
yeah, I feel like that'd be funny. Just like
Could be.
I evaporate and then I just evaporate.
You're just going from the episode for the rest of it.
I come back. I condensated. That's right. I passed basic level chemistry.
But don't expect us to do this all the time about the podcast. I may have some of the other guys come on for this to get their side.
Yeah.
I would like to hear your side of starting this podcast up,
Ooh.
because they know my side.
Yeah. Gotta say, it was tiring. I will say.
Exhausting. It was, you know, and I will add to this.
Yeah,
But while it was exhausting, that doesn't really put it into perspective where it was every week we were trying to figure out something with it. You know, we started this idea off sitting in a Dairy Queen.
talking about what do we need for just
figuring out what we need.
recording.
That was 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Probably 2 months ago by the time you're seeing this, exactly.
probably.
But-
And then the next week we just kind of set up all of our like connecting to each other, talked about who to add on. The next episode, well, the next week we did, what's it called? I think we just talked more. Oh, we interviewed Keaton.
We did. We interviewed our fourth person, who I will not say his name, Keaton Burgess. We interviewed him to throw him onto this, and you know, he passed the interview. It worked out fine. But you know, that was just a part of it. You know, that's now we figured out another person, and that's one thing off of our list.
Yeah, and then the very next week, I started looking at computers that week. Because I knew we wanted to start this before you guys were in school so we could get this started, get this moving.
To reveal this to you, we actually wanted to have the first episode out 2 weeks ago, on the first day, or the first
Weekend before.
right. And it didn't turn out that way.
No.
But we'll get to that eventually.
The week after that, I hadn't gotten the computer yet because I was told that I needed to discuss my finances with my family and all that before I could get a computer.
Money is a problem.
Yes.
Well, when I said that in the other video, I meant it. It wasn't just,
Yeah.
oh, we're working jobs where, you know, we're getting paid, but, you know, there's plenty of other things that our money needs to go towards, you know, such as
Yeah.
just food in general.
Yeah.
Being able
I need to eat, guys.
Right. And money's tough. That's why we started this Patreon, because now it's not, you know, all of our paychecks going into a piece of equipment.
Yeah.
It is, you know, some of the Patreon money and maybe some of our money going back into the podcast.
It's gonna make it a whole lot easier of a burden to carry. The next week we didn't get the mixer yet.
We didn't have the mixer, nor do we have the laptop.
Yeah, so we pushed it to the next week with a very professional message from Grady.
I may throw it up on screen right now, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right here.
And then the week after that, we got the mixer. You had your computer. We got
I had my school computer.
Yeah, school computer. We got up here and we decided on what we needed to set up, like what we needed to make.
We essentially took inventory. Is essentially what we did. You know, we had Aiden taking notes where what do we need?
That's why we have the lights,
we have our lights, we have our actual filming lights, we have our backdrop, we have our tablecloth for our table.
We have candles.
We have props such as these.
Oh, Aiden didn't take his cups.
They did not.
Sad, but
they are good cups.
They are good cups. I got a drink out of that one.
Yeah, they're really cool.
The week after that, we set everything up and we tried to start recording, but curfews didn't allow.
Yes, this was about a week ago.
Yeah.
So getting everything took just about a month and a half.
It took us about 4 hours to set up the
to get all of our equipment, our lights, our backdrops, our table, our chairs, everything set up. It took about 4 hours.
The recording software.
The recording software, again, I hate you, Gemini. Please fix it. But
do better.
But that took us probably 30 minutes of just looking at the screen, trying to figure it out. Looking for a substitute software that has now become our main software.
We went through 3 softwares. Audacity, if you could make like a multi-mixer, like a multi-recording system.
Yes. If you could add that into the actual recording, that would be
nice.
We
will go back to you in a heartbeat.
Yes.
I really like your bass and treble.
Yes, it's very nice. But the software that we're using now has a built-in mixer where we can use multiple microphones, we can use multiple things.
Again, thank you Mixpad and NCH software. Thank you. Let's see. Then this week we got recorded. We got up here, we did a little bit of bookkeeping and we just jumped right into it.
We figured out what we needed, we figured out some more inventory and we got camera set up. Now, an issue with iPhones, they can run out of space. Any phone in general, not just iPhones. I'm not a phone hater. If it lets me call, it works.
I can't believe iPhone doesn't have infinite storage.
Like my Google phone.
My Google phone,
not sponsored. I am sponsored by
Personal Performance Productions.
Personal Performance Productions and bysigma.com. Please go check out both of these.
Yep. We are sponsoring him.
Shameless plug.
Well, I mean, it's not really a plug. It's not for you.
It's a sponsorship.
Yeah.
So, but
we're giving you stuff so that you'll
let's go
talk about us.
But yes.
So we recorded, had a lot of fun with it. One thing about a D&D podcast I like a lot more than regular podcasts, and a lot of people, when I say, oh yeah, I've done podcasts before, they immediately think, oh, like Joe Rogan,
Well, you can look at podcasts as just something to listen to about somebody talking about something. We interact with our viewers.
Yep. Oh, that's right. If you join the Patreon, shameless plug. If you join at the highest tier, the blacksmith tier, there's 4 tiers. You got the dagger, you got the longsword, the greatsword, and then the blacksmith. The blacksmith tier, you're going to be able to, someone gave me an idea. It was like, oh, if they subscribe at the highest tier, like, maybe they can show up in an episode.
Yeah.
Like as an NPC.
Yeah, we will put you in as an NPC.
If you want, of course, we aren't going to add anyone that's like super young.
Right, that's not.
Hopefully they aren't listening to it.
Yeah, very mature podcast for non-children.
For mature audiences only.
Yes.
I do have to make sure that I include like sexual content.
We aren't gay. It's very unintentional. We're just very funny.
We are hilarious.
You're being brainwashed.
Look at the clock spinning. You are getting very sleepy.
We aren't
You
gay.
want to subscribe to the Patreon. Shameless plug. Yeah, at the blacksmith tier, you can appear in the episode. At the greatsword tier, they were saying like, oh, what if they were able to like, like get into a call with like the DM or one of the players.
Being able to talk to us is something that you will be able to do.
There is a Discord.
But there is a Discord. You gain access to our Discord.
Yeah.
I will say, you join the call and you start being not nice.
We reserve all rights to throw you out onto the street. The after show stuff, we answer listener questions.
Yes.
I think I've said. And that's like every tier. But with the long sword tier, you also get our uncut episodes. All the all the waiting for the dice rolls, all the
also maybe not very appropriate things that need to go into.
There are going to be a few things cut out that, like, if they have to be cut out.
There's not a ton of things that absolutely have to be cut out.
Yeah.
But there are some that aren't appropriate for YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music. But
Spotify, you can put anything on.
Well, that's true. That's true.
As long
but
as
if
like,
we were to hold our reputation for anything, maybe we keep it behind a paywall.
So I listened to this podcast a while ago. I listened to this podcast a while ago, and I paid for their Patreon, and like just in the middle of an interview, just like, yeah, I paid for their Patreon, and you were one of the actors. I know by your name, and you said a lot of the N-word.
We aren't racist. We don't do that.
We didn't do that.
We act very gay though. It's not intentional.
It's not intentional.
We are both Christian men. Like
we're both straight.
Both straight. Both cisgendered men.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna make them hate us. Oh, I'm part native. That helps.
I'm all white. I just stared at the camera.
Yeah. Like we can see that.
No, I identify
as cool.
Kidding, of course. But
I identify as cool.
I'm leaving that in. I'm not.
Yeah. Dope.
This is going in.
It's going in.
I'm gonna have a lot of bloopers for this video.
Oh yeah.
I might just upload the video and then do a bloopers afterwards. One thing I do kind of want to do is I want to show the table now with everything kind of set up.
That's a fair point.
So I will do that.
Yeah, if you want to do that. I'm getting trying to think.
So, what does it look like? What does it look like recording a podcast? Well, it looks like you let teenagers on a table. There is some organization on the podcast. You don't see this whole mess. You don't see the cups or the locked box, whatever. But you do see our dice towers, or my dice tower anyway. I'm the only one that's using one.
I think you also see the mic.
You do also see our mics. Camera sits about here. It shows all three, and it does show the microphone, so on and so forth. But here's what you don't see on the podcast.
Nickelback. That's what you don't see.
Here's what you don't see on the podcast. You don't get to see this side of the table, except normally it's with the DM screen up.
Actually, we have full rights.
We do. This is our DM screen that our friend made.
He has definitely put a lot more work than most DMs I know into this podcast.
And then also, on this side, that might need to be censored. But you get Cupid's Valley and our hero fighting a dragon.
Yeah. Or whatever that monster is.
Whatever,
Whatever it is. Here, I'm gonna just slide this over a bit. That way, you guys can see my pretty mug.
So, making a podcast is not easy.
It's not. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure.
If you are passionate about something, about D&D, about creating things, about being able to sit down with your friends and record, do it. Because while this has been exhausting and there's not a lot left in my brain to do a whole lot more,
you had a brain to begin with?
Apparently, the doctors told me I had one. But I spent 2 months working with the best of men to do this.
I wouldn't say I'm the
I
best
have
man.
had the absolute most fun of my whole life. Because while I've gone and experienced several things that maybe go above this, to be able to sit down with my friends and just play a game and record it and have fun, so that maybe you guys can join us and have fun, that is eternally pleasing. I do want to thank special guest here, Kallen,
Yep.
who runs, I always forget the name,
Personal Performance
Productions. Get it
Say
into my
that
name.
5 times fast, community. And then send us a video.
But Personal Performance Productions, thank you for sponsoring this. Thank you for joining me on this.
Of course. I will say for podcasting, I was just thinking about in fact, a lot of people don't realize it's very time consuming to actually edit a podcast, because I'm gonna have to listen back on it with headphones and all that. Because if any of us have a moment where we're like, or
Or if we're spending 10 minutes to
Like
roll
that.
a dice.
Right there.
I'm leaving that in because
we need to show what it's.
I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I leave a lot of my
I'd have
filters in.
to edit that out to make it more enjoyable for an audience.
More professional.
More professional. Having to edit out any I have to sometimes bring people's voices up, because
Yes.
a lot of people don't know how to speak with a mic. You still have to project. Right here, the mic's
You have
right
to
there.
send your voice that way.
Yes.
You can't just speak normally. You have to send it towards the mic. You cannot be talking from back here and hope the mic picks you up.
Yeah, you gotta project. And this isn't calling out anyone. A lot of people make this mistake.
Everybody does it.
I've worked with people who make that mistake. I've done 2 podcasts, both D&D. I listened back to episode 1 of the first podcast I did. Oh my gosh, it made me cringe with how bad the audio quality was.
I do remember looking at, you told me to check it out, and I checked it out, and the first episode, the audio was like that, and I was like, ugh.
When did I tell you to check it
I
out?
think it was like freshman year. Freshman year.
So when we first started.
Like when you first started, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and hopefully because we have microphones.
I do think this is higher quality. I've listened to some of the audio back, and it's very good.
Yes.
But, so on and so forth, we are at 30 minutes of footage.
Oh,
But,
really?
yes. But, if you're looking at doing a podcast, and you have the energy to do it, and the money to do it, and the friends to do it, commit. Just do it.
Yeah.
Because you will love it. The work that goes into it, it's exhausting. But the reward of it, just being able to sit down and play with your friends, just do it. You'll love it. Now, I do want to thank again Personal Performance Productions
Yeah, that's
for sponsoring us. And please, go buy Sugma at buysugma.com and check out our podcast, Turning the Blade, Cupid's Valley. And
you can find it wherever you listen to podcasts.
And thank you, Wedges, for watching. I'll see you guys.
Oh,
in the next video.
it'll just be called Turning the Blade.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, for the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's recorded.
It's recorded.
That is